AITA. I told my overweight coworker as she ate like me she would look like me. Alright, throw away account. Mostly because I'm at work and can't remember what my actual login is. I 25F have been pretty skinny all my life. I eat healthy most of the time, exercise regularly, not consume my weight in Pop-Tarts, a real problem in college. I also don't think I'm better than fat people. I think obesity is a complex issue and merely reducing the obesity epidemic to move more, eat less doesn't take into account the socioeconomic complexities, mental health issues, physical health issues, etc. I don't make comments like, "OMG I'm so fat," when I eat a slice of cake. I don't talk about going on diets. I don't judge other people's food choices. I don't really care about what you eat. About 6 months ago, a coworker named Diane, 40F, transferred to our office. We are essential, so no work from home. She's overweight and has constantly made remarks about my food choices. If I eat a salad, she'll talk about how I have an eating disorder and promote toxic diet culture. She'll say my body is unnatural, and real women have curves. One time she even tried to make a case that the reason I'm still single is because men don't find my skinny body attractive. Sometimes, though, she'll do a complete 180. She'll make remarks about how it must be nice to be young with a metabolism like mine, or to have genetics that allow me to eat whatever I want without gaining an ounce. Lady, weren't you just calling me anorexic yesterday because I had a salad for lunch? This constant harassment has really been getting to me. I feel like I can't eat in the office anymore. I have tried to get this to stop. I have told her firmly to stop. I have told her politely to stop. I have ignored her. I even went to HR and was told this wasn't harassment, so they couldn't do anything about it. Well, this all came to a head today. Ever since my first job, I have brought in Spoopy Rice Krispie treats on the first day of October. They're just dyed orange and green with pumpkin and Frankenstein faces on them. I grabbed one and Diane said, "I wish I could eat like you and still look like you." I said, "If you ate like me you probably would look like me," grabbed another and walked back to my desk. Honestly, I didn't feel like I was the asshole, until another coworker said that what was extremely hurtful to Diane. When I pointed out that she had been bullying me since she got here, the coworker told me it wasn't the same. That it would be like using a racial slur against an African American bully. I went too far because I can't possibly understand the discrimination overweight women face and I should have found another way to deal with it. I'll admit, having never been fat myself, I don't know the full extent of discrimination against fat people and I do not want to stoop to the levels of bigots. But how else am I supposed to deal with this? So, random strangers on the internet, am I the asshole? Not the asshole. She is bullying you and, because she's overweight, it's fine. Like, when did that become a thing? Yes, you could have just ignored her but, hey, if she can't take it, she shouldn't dish it. Not the asshole turnabout is fair play here, you told her knock it off repeatedly. She won't quit doing it and HR isn't going to help. I would not call you the asshole if you started making fat jokes at her in retaliation. It's verbal self-defense as far as I'm concerned. Each time she does it to you, do it right back. You may want to tell HR they're wrong. By the way, any commentary about your body that if unwanted is sexual harassment. HR doesn't decide what is and is not, shush, the law does. Please tell your HR that you've notified them and due to their inaction you will need to take legal action against her as well as the company for permitting the continuation of a hostile workplace. They'll change their time really fast. Not the asshole. By making repeated remarks about your body and your eating habits, she was opening herself up to response. It would have been rude for you to say that unprovoked, but pretty reasonable to snap back when someone harasses you constantly. Fuck Diane. Also, I want a Spoopy Rice Krispie too. As a black woman I am sick to death of everyone using us an example. Oh, that's just like the N-word. No, it's not. You're not the asshole. And HR is wrong. Go back to them and tell them your coworker is constantly commenting on your body and creating a hostile work environment. It makes you uncomfortable and she needs to be told to not comment on your body ever again, lest you have to take this up the ladder. I am a Diane, and I still say not the asshole. She's been way out of line all this time with her comments, and you've asked every which way for her to stop. You can't be blamed for a rude remark when pushed too far. I think you should take it up the chain with HR, honestly. It is harassment. Not the asshole. I was very skinny for most of my life until my metabolism tanked and now I'm overweight. I was shamed so much more when I was skinny, due to a fast metabolism. I ate way more then. I would get such awful comments, "Are you anorexic? Drink a milkshake." That was in a work meeting of all things. It just sucked and I always said I'd rather be fat than skinny. As a fat person I still stand by that. I don't have issues with people telling what to eat or commenting on my body size anymore. People are absolutely mean to skinny people. Not the asshole. People like this are exhausting. I lost a lot of weight just through changing my diet UK 24 to a UK 4/6 waist but still really curvy, and people were constantly telling me I looked great but then making snide comments about my portion sizes and how lucky I am. Upside down face like no, I just worked really fucking hard to learn about nutrition and change my relationship with food. Not the asshole. Hopefully Diane will stop now. Also, anyone who compares fat shaming to racism isn't worth listening to. People saying YTA are fucking wild. Diane is harassing you about your body. That is not okay. On top of that, HR are not doing their fucking jobs. I hate this kinda shit. I'm overweight, plain looking, and have to say that it doesn't matter if someone is genetically predisposed to being fat. That does not give them an excuse to be a trash bag. I also despise onlookers who watch someone be bullied for months but as soon as they finally respond, the bully cries foul and everyone is on their side. It's emotional manipulation. If a man walked past you every day and commented on your body, HR did nothing and you finally reacted, would your coworkers tell you off? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. While she's been harassing you in a way that's unacceptable, that comment would be extremely wounding and untrue, which it seems like you already understand. The differences in your age alone would that make statement inaccurate. Your comment may have confirmed what she fears people are already thinking about her, that she is fat and should eat differently. From what you've described, she sounds extremely insecure about her weight. To be honest, I probably would have snapped too after all the harassment from her. But I think your comment in this situation was out of line nevertheless. The everyone sucks here applies to your HR as well. They kind of left you to deal with this escalating situation on your own, so it makes sense that you snapped. Not the asshole. Skinny shaming is just as bad and hurtful as fat shaming, and you did everything you could to deal with it another way. Everyone has a breaking point. This reminds me of a John Mulaney skit where he says, "Ya know how I know midget isn't as bad as the N-word? Because we're saying the word midget and we won't even say what the other word is." You can be shamed for being skinny. If it upsets you, it upsets you. Why should being overweight give you exclusivity to being offended? Fuck that. Fuck your coworkers' behavior and hypocrisy. Not the asshole. Good for you for not taking that shit anymore. Just smile and say, "It is nice." Not the asshole. What she does is workplace harassment. Do read up on it and discuss with someone you trust and who is in your corner. Pay for a life coach or a therapist if you have to. If you don't do anything, it will not stop. Might get worse. Other colleagues very likely will not stand up for you. Otherwise, I am skinny too. Middle-aged and I still get the occasional nasty remark from colleagues. Well, better than being fat, but I have to be on guard not telling them off so that they can cry harassment from me later. I'm getting sick of overweight people saying that it's wrong or promoting toxic dieting. Like no, I just don't eat everything I see. Not the asshole. Fat people should learn to live with the consequences of their choices or change their choices. Comparing it to racial slurs, Rafflemau. Not the asshole. You asked politely multiple times to no avail. At some point you need to stand up to the bully. Good on you for doing that. Skinny shaming is no better than fat shaming. Not the asshole. Fuck fat people that act like this. She was making constant comments to you. You didn't just walk up to her and said something. If she brings up your weight all the time, she doesn't need to be surprised if her weight is suddenly spoken about. I also think what you said was snippy, but it wasn't very extreme. Probably at least somewhat true, too. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. She has spent months harassing you, no matter what your HR department says. What you said wasn't nice, but in my opinion, not out of line. I have been at both extremes. I am 5 feet 4 inches and have been 200 pounds and 118 pounds. I was harassed more when I was skinny, than when I was heavy. The worst I got when I was fat was, "You have a pretty face, and you should eat a salad." When I was skinny I was accused of being anorexic and bulimic. Told I should eat something, or if I was eating told I was lucky. I even had my purse stolen, because I had a trophy pick from when I was fat. It's an ignorant double standard. Harassment is harassment, no matter what it's about. Not the asshole. We need to stop normalizing protecting obesity anyway. Not the asshole, she's a bully playing victim. You didn't even insult her, you just said something in passing. Not the asshole, she's been harassing you for ages and that was pretty mild considering she's accused you of having and promoting eating disorders and said you're not a real woman. She's really toxic, but in a way that makes people feel like they're victimizing her if they tell her to knock it off, and that's not fair even it does come from her own lack of self-esteem. Not the asshole. She is bullying you. Also, I really don't like that. Having curves, and being curvy, is now synonymous with being overweight. When I was younger, it meant that your hips and chest curved outwards from your waist. You could have a slim waist and be curvy. You could be larger and be curvy. But now it seems, curvy, is only used when your stomach waist curve outwards. It's just a bit annoying. The term once implied a Marilyn Monroe or Christina Hendricks or hourglass pear type shape, regardless of size. It's now used in statements, real women have curves, designed to imply that to be attractive or real, you must be overweight. Past, present, future weight fluctuates a lot, fatty over here. Not the asshole. Bullying skinny people is the same as bullying fat people. They need to learn how to promote real body positivity instead of tearing others down to build themselves up. I'm sorry you are dealing with this, and I'm sorry your feelings on the matter are being downplayed. That is not okay. ETA, and God, the gall of someone comparing that to racism right now. F right off. NTA. As someone whose boyfriend doesn't know how to keep comments about my healthier diet to himself, you have every right to say almost anything you need to get her to stop. NTA, it's not like bigotry at all. She came at you first and constantly. Not the asshole. Sounds like classic can give but not take. Where are you located that your HR is that stupid? Not the asshole, by the way. Not the asshole. She'll talk about how I have an eating disorder and promote toxic diet culture. She'll say my body is unnatural, and real women have curves. She even tried to make a case that the reason I'm still single is because men don't find my skinny body attractive, calling me anorexic. Negatively commenting about co-workers' body is a big no-no in our. I'm very surprised they did nothing. Find a lawyer and talk to them. You may have a good opportunity to sue the company since HR is so incompetent. Fat people are not a protected class. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, she's harassing you and shitting on you out of jealousy. Being honest is fine. I'm a fat person who has struggled keeping their weight in check for a long time. I've gone from 500 pounds to 280, still pretty fat. That being said, not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole a million times over. Diane's weight struggles don't mean she's allowed to bully people with conventionally attractive bodies. The double standard of a fat person making a remark about skinny people, but oh no, a skinny person making a remark about a fat person and suddenly the world ends. Oh no. She stuck up for herself after I relentlessly picked on her and now my feelings are hurt. Everyone take my side because fat is beautiful now and she's skinny. Not the asshole. I'm a Diane in that if I ate like you I'd probably look like you, too. Skinny shaming is just as harmful as fat shaming. And now a hostile work environment has been created where the coworker is allowed to harass and bully you with no consequences. Document everything and go to HR with it and call it what it is. Make sure you document exactly how HR responded to your first complaint, as well, since now you've got them by the balls as they did nothing. Most HR departments wet themselves when you start talking about hostile work environment, especially after they did nothing. Okay, first off I gotta say LMFAO at the racial slur comparison. First of all, did you use a slur? Nope. It's not like you called your coworker a land whale or something. And in my opinion that comparison is just weak and laughable in general. That aside, not the asshole. Not only is your coworker an asshole but so is your HR department for not protecting you from harassment. Maybe try bringing it up with them again and dropping the L and S words and see if they switch up their tune. Not the asshole. Hopefully this shuts her up about it. Competitive bodybuilder here. 2 things. 1. You're right about being what you eat. In the gym I always told people, Look at all the people lifting here, and the only ones that look good eat good. 2. The racism parallel is way off. Don't critique things people can't help, like skin color. But things people can help, like body fat, well, she brought that to the table. You're reasonable and sweet. In that case you put up with more than enough. NTA at all. Not the asshole. I was getting prepared to comment you are the asshole, from the title, but reading the story there are 2 reasons you're not the asshole. 1. She has been picking on you for a while now. 2. You didn't randomly say, if you ate like me, you would look like me. She said that she wishes she could eat like you and still look like you. That being said, it's disappointing that HR hasn't gotten involved thus far, as if you were constantly commenting on her food choices and berating her lifestyle, they probably would get involved. Obesity may make her insecure, but definitely does not give her the right to be an awe. Not the asshole, and what if you did have an eating disorder? Those comments would only amplify that. Shame on HR for not seeing this as harassment, especially when you've tried in many ways to get her to stop. Not the asshole. There is discrimination against slim women. My stepbrother's ex was super skinny. She had some sort of health issue that made it really hard for her to gain weight. She had to eat constantly and ate hearty meals. I went to Walmart with them one time and this other girl only slightly overweight saw her and audibly said, "Sheesh, eat a burger." She looked so upset and I turned around and said, "Actually she did just eat a burger and a whole plate of fries. Mind your business." I couldn't believe it. You never know why someone looks the way they do and honestly it's none of anyone else's business besides your own and possibly a physician's if it is a health concern. People who vote for you are the asshole don't know how to mind their business and don't know HR responsibilities. Not the asshole. Bet we'll see her on our Fat Logic. Not the asshole. Fat people are fat because of their choices. They will claim, genetics. But there isn't a chromosome that makes you go through the drive-thru and not exercise. Not the asshole. She was harassing you and honestly had it coming. Not the asshole. You tried to solve it in many other ways. No one can fault you for not taking that harassment, your hour is wrong, after all that time. You even did not feel comfortable eating at work. Hopefully now she'll finally stop. Not the asshole. Weight shaming goes both ways, dude. Not the asshole. There's a big double standard in this story that really pisses me off, and your coworker is fucking toxic. You did everything right by going to HR first, but I woulda just kept trying to get them to do something about it. When she said the part about only real women have curves, that would have been it for me. I would have asked her explain what she meant by it, not the asshole.